Here we go again. Illumination shuffling cards. Oh, guess what? Oh, hello, Leo. This one is for you. God. Oh, Leo. Leo, you've got the very last of the Leo Aquarius eclipses that's been, you know, causing some serious problems for a lot of people over the last year and a half or so. And this is the last one. So you might be grateful, Leo. We're not quite out of the woods yet because, you know, these eclipses have ripple effects. So right towards, oh, I'll just do it. Okay, hold on. No, I'll come back to that. Hold on, stay there. I've got to do the thing. I've got to do this properly. Tarot Illumination is a highly professional operation, as you know. So welcome, dear Leo. This is you. This is Tarot Illumination here. And it is your mini generic love and relationship report for January 2019. Thank you for visiting. I'm going to keep shuffling while I get the basics out of the way. Forgive me, dear regulars. I got to do this. It's just routine stuff. You can fast forward if you want. There's a description box below this video. Please check it out. It has all the links. Consider First Friday group healing event. Okay, it's super affordable and it's fun, and you get to hang out with Tarot Illumination in person. It's all about healing. Okay, next, Tarot Illumination shopping merch. Yay! Consider that down below. Check the link. Do you want the glamorous, beautiful, very seductive, alluring Tarot Illumination satin silk scarf? Check the link below. Become more Leo than ever before. Are you very serious? Do you want to check the book about January 2020? Whoa, heavy duty stuff. Check the playlists, people. Astro Doodles for everyone. Playlist just for the Astro Doodles. It's such an important month. January 2019 is a massive kickoff for 2019. If you need to go personal readings, you know, we're here. Okay? Check the links below. Singles, you can watch this too if you want. Just allow for the laws of attraction. What are you radiating and what is being reflected back to you? You'll see in a little bit. Now, when we do these videos, you know, do the cross-watching for significant others. That can really help to put some illumination on the situation. And also watch for your sun, moon, and rising, especially if they're all different. Let's see what's dominant right now. Lastly, if you really want to say thank you to Tarot Illumination and blessings to a wonderful new year, please consider membership. Check the links below. All right, check the links below. Become a Tarot Illumination member. Okay, join the gang. Okay, we're a gang. That's what we do here. We're a gang. We cause trouble, man. So we're going to use the Tarot Illumination Crucible spread for this. It's on the understanding that there's you, Leo, a significant other, and a third entity that you guys own called a relationship. And that relationship is like a crucible. It is a structure in a healthy, loving, conscious relationship that is designed to withstand the intense pressures as we intimate and separate, all day, every day, while we love and are being loved, okay? And the question is, what is the nature of your crucible? Is it strong, leaky, flexible, flimsy, or just a mess? Who knows? We'll see. Before we get into all this, let's have a quick look. This is what I was talking about earlier. Check out the playlist, okay, for this stuff. It's a separate playlist. Anyway, the thing is, the hot spot for you is towards the end of the month, dear Leo, you've got this Aquarius full moon eclipse happening right there in your 7th house of primary relationships. And you've got the moon landing right there in your 1st house. So it's full on relationship axis, 1st house, 7th house stuff. It can't get more serious than that. And of course, because it's an eclipse and it's the Leo Aquarius eclipse, it's probably going to seriously rattle you in some way, shape, or form or another. What is going on in your most important relationship here? Because the eclipses are seriously going to shake it up. You're going to be having awareness, a glimpse of what's actually happening as opposed to what you thought was happening. And then everything's going to go kind of kaboom. And from there on, you're going to have to deal with what's actually happening as opposed to what you thought was happening. Because what you thought was happening is now redundant by the spirit. You know, these eclipses are like spiritual gateways. evolutionary gateways. You come in from here, you get into the gateway, the gates shut, you get hosed down, and the gates open this side, and you come out the other side, then there's no going back. There's the before, and then there's the after. There's the in between. The eclipse is the gateway, okay? So, you know, Aquarius, the sun comes into Aquarius right at the end of the month, around the 20th. So that's your full-on opposition. And because you're dealing with it in an eclipse, the end of the month might be kind of a shocker for you, or an awakener, one of those massive light bulb moments when it comes to love and relationship. So I'm just letting you know, okay, Leo, I'm just letting you know. Be prepared. Anything and everything can happen. Okay, let's do this. All right, here we go. Sorry about that really long preamble. Let's bless the whole deck. Bless every single card in the deck. Bless you, Leo. Bless Tarot Illumination. Bless the whole channel and all this amazing technology that allows us to do this across the planet. All right. That's you. Okay, what are you radiating, Leo? You know, like a phone. You're sending out signals. You're receiving signals. What's that look like? Same for the significant other. You remember, Leo, this is not a couples reading, okay? It's all about you, and we're just allowing for this other character, all right? Deep down over here, what are you radiating, maybe subconsciously from the heart and soul level? What about that from the other, okay? What are they radiating deep down? Maybe it's wishes, dreams, fears, whatever. Over here at the very core, this is the relationship. So it has its own life, energy, mission, and purpose. Now, can you see this, the crucible, the bowl here? You guys own this thing. This is yours. If you're not aware of it, please become aware of it so that you're not just operating like this. Me, you, you. Me, you. No, there's a lot more going on, okay? As we intimate and separate all the time, just like the tides. And this is like a living thing, like a plant, a garden. What is being grown here, okay? You own this, people. All right, so let's have a look. Circumstantial energy, environmental influences, call it the weather. We have the Four of Swords. So my feeling is to take this whole thing very, very gently. Treat this as a whole healing experience where everything is exactly as it should be. And the way to handle it is to allow the experience to unfold. The eclipses, this is a really powerful, strong, dynamic month, Leo. And these eclipses aren't just for you. They affect everybody one way, shape, or another. You've got the eclipse axis over here, Leo, Aquarius, Aquarius, Leo, towards the end of the month. Early in the month, we have this huge thing going on with the Capricorn new moon eclipse over here in your 6th house about health and healing, okay? Creating new habits, refining, cleansing, purifying yourself from the inside out in order to hopefully prepare yourself for a better way of being in love and relationship. And so that's what I think is going on here with the Four of Swords. It's about early on in the month with the January Capricorn solar eclipse. It's about treating this as a sort of like a healing experience where you're deliberately allowing yourself to get into a healing modality where you got to reveal it to heal it. And so you do the revealing so that you can get the healing. And then that gets you set up for the end of the month when you get the eclipse. Bam-o, monster eclipse here and another eclipse here right in your face. Okay, so I'm just giving you like a weather forecast. Okay, that's all it is here, Leo. Think of this as a healing experience, and you're all about going through the healing right now, getting ready for the full opposition that you're going to face at the end of the month. You're going to need all the healing and preparation you can get. All right. What are you radiating over here? The Ten of Swords. Okay. Well, maybe maybe this is an indication that the healing is highly appropriate right now. With the Ten of Swords here, you might already be at a breaking point where, if you think of it as a journey, okay, you know, journeys like this, you might be at this point now where you're having more or less like a breakdown in some way, shape, or another, where you realize there's only so much that you can handle, and that's it. You know, that happens in people's lives. People break, people crack, people are destroyed, pulverized, and crushed for one reason or another. And maybe this is just you. Maybe you're having a personal breakdown where everything has reached a point, everything just kind of devolves, and you realize, I can't take this anymore. I simply can't take this anymore. And you just humbly give yourself over to the healing experience that's going to be basically forced upon you. And like, you don't have a choice here. You need healing. You have to heal. You have, let's say, thoughts, conditions, attitudes, perceptions, experiences, understandings, communications that have reached a breaking point where it just can't go on anymore as it is with you, how you are, the way you are. And so the way the month unfolds, it could be very, very choppy as you kind of like implode and then go through like an awakening moment, like a thing. And then right towards the end of the month and then through February, things start to make sense. Like, oh my gosh, now I see what was so wrong and so bad and so why it's that way. Oh, whoa. But that's good. You got to reveal it to heal it. All right. So with the Four of Swords here, please treat what's happening in January and even drifting into February as a healing experience that you need. What's with the other one? The Justice. And you're getting exactly what you deserve. In other words, there's no point in taking this personally, Leo. Like in relationships, if you're having a really, really hard time, the easiest, fastest way to get relief is blame them. Blame them, you know. But in the end, your pain is your pain. You know, it might have been caused by this, your family, your childhood, your mom, your dad, your work, your lover, your spouse, your boyfriend, your all of that. It doesn't matter. Either way, it's pain and it's your pain. Okay? And then you have to realize, like, this energy is being reflected back to you. Okay? For singles watching this, the single could say, you could just look this as a 2-card reading if you want. In other words, they're saying, like, well, this is how it is. Your justice is served. You're getting exactly what you deserve. It's not my fault. It's just a consequence of being a human being loving and being loved to the best you can, and with all your failings too. And for you, Leo, over here, my feeling is that these eclipses are simply doing you the favor of reflecting back to you everything that you need to know about why things suck for you. I hope that made sense. There's nothing personal here. They are just being who they are. They are being totally centered in their own integrity, and they are having their own reciprocal version of this unbearable, no longer acceptable way of being for you. And they know for themselves that they have to accept this as it is. And they're not taking it personally. They're just like, well, this is how it is now with us. This is how it is. Remember, it's not a couple's reading, Leo. It's all about you. We're allowing for their presence in this reading. Excuse me. Been doing a lot of readings. So over here, what's coming out deep at the heart and soul? Okay, the Knave of Coins. Okay, well, my feeling is that you've been doing everything that you can to the best of your abilities. Like, like how mates want to be the best they can for the other party. They want to be the best they can for themselves. They really want to do that. Like, if you're a guy watching this, it's like deep down you want to do that which is right. You want to do the loving thing. Love is as love does, and that should be expressed in your actions. In other words, you only have the very best of intentions here, and that's all you've ever intended, that's all you've ever wanted. And yet, there's this going on, which is not so pretty. And so, this is kind of very noble, and I'm really glad, Leo, that you are, basically keeping your head up and doing the best you can anyway, even in situations that might be very challenging for you. It's almost, to me, feels like a peace offering here. Like, like you would like to bring some kind of serenity and peace to a situation here. And it might be like too little too late because things are already like this. And then, the justice is saying, well, excuse me, I mean, thank you very much. I'm sorry you're suffering. I'm sorry you're hurting. I'm just being me. I have my own issues to deal with. Please understand, I'm dealing with my own eclipse stuff. I got the Capricorn, solar, new moon thing in my blah blah house, and you've got your own Leo Aquarius thing in your blah blah house and everything. That's great. Seventh house stuff first, that's fantastic. So I've got my problems too, you've got your problems, and I know you mean well. I know that you mean well, but seriously, things are exactly the way they should be. And why is that? Because they can't be any other way. And so we have to face this, and then you're left with this humbling feeling like, I'm doing my best, okay? I'm doing my best. Seriously. I only want the best for us, for me, for you, the relationship. And they're like, okay, well, I'm not going to repeat what I just told you. What about inside of them? A star. My feeling is that, these are really powerful cards here. And you, Leah, are dealing with someone who is, it looks like it's almost on another frequency altogether, where they are coming from, let's say, the perspective of, I don't know how to describe it, like above and beyond this planet, above and beyond the relationship, above and beyond things like love, dev, romance, and, how are we doing with the payments? Or when was the last time we really had a good, like, what you call it? And, how's things with work and the families, and how's things with, all your stuff. And we're not talking about that kind of thing here, Leo. This is kind of a big deal from their perspective. They're operating from they're operating from a completely different perspective from where you are right now. And that's their business. They have the right to do that, to be who they are and how they are. It's just that my feeling here is that it's a very different experience for you, because you might be perceiving them and this thing that's happening with them in the context of a relationship where it's out of control, because they're off there doing themselves, being their full selves, and you might not know how to deal with it or understand it. And they are coming from the point of divine inspiration. They are guided, they are protected, they are totally trusting in the universe. They are in some ways getting everything that they deserve, some of the things that they've wanted and deserve that they have to have, which might not be anything to do with you personally, because you are an individual, Leo. They are an individual, and you happen to be doing this in the context of a relationship. So they have a right and a duty and obligation in a very loving relationship to be themselves. They have a right to be themselves, and you have a right to be yourself as well. And so your experience through January about love and relationship may be very different experience that they're having about love and relationship, but it's happening in the context of this relationship. So my feeling is for them, they're coming from a very profound level where they are being guided, they are being protected, and they are seeing this thing from a very fated perspective. Sometimes people look at relationships like that, they see it as a big movie, whereas you might be in a situation where you're dealing with like the more mundane aspects of relationship. Well, what about this? We never did that. We said we were going to do that. And what about this? And what about that? And I mean, well, I can't take things anymore the way they are. I don't get it. I don't understand it. What's going on? And there they are over here just being themselves, and it might make it very, very difficult for you to be you. Now, a lot of the times last year, well, even right now, look, with the eclipse over here, with the Leo Aquarius axis, it's going to be really lit up at the end of the month. It's an eclipse, and then you've got about 4 weeks of Sun in Aquarius from here. Man, you're dealing with the maximum opposition. You're going to the tippy edges of your abilities to cope and manage in a relationship. So you're going to see everything face on, all right? What's being, what about here at the core? Okay, the Nine of Wands. Huh. All right, well, let's just say the relationship is enduring. Okay, let's just say, for sake of argument, that this is an ongoing living thing. Excuse me, I want to get another reference point here. I just give me a moment. Stay there. Don't go away. I'll be right back. Sorry, this is very unusual for Tarot Illumination to be hands off from the camera on this. So, okay, I'm stumbling here. Honestly, Leo, it's pretty rare that this happens, but I am stumbling, I have to tell you. So, okay, my feeling is we're not at the point of maximum duress yet. I think what's happening here in January is that we're building up to kind of a crescendo that's actually going to begin to unfold from the eclipse at the end of the month onwards. And you're doing a really good job of hanging in, holding on, making this happen. It's not like the relationship is over or anything. It's just that we're reaching a point of maximum pressure where the relationship itself is under maximum pressure. So the question is, what is the strength and the integrity of the crucible? Obviously, it's not broken. It's not going to crack and break, but it is being taken to the maximum level of pressure. As we intimate and separate, and we create alchemical reactions inside the relationship, this situation here between you and this person is taking the relationship to the limits of its ability. And it is holding up. In other words, it's holding up under maximum pressure. So that's good. But the thing is, like, excuse me, what comes from this? Let's have a look. Okay, the Five of Coins. So my feeling, okay, I'm going to see this as kind of a little bit of a journey or as an unfolding thing. This is, to me, feels like a very incomplete reading. So by the time you get to the end of January, the pressure becomes so intense that you actually start to see the cracks. You actually start to see the cracks in the crucible, in the relationship. It hasn't fallen apart yet, but you know, these crucibles in a science lab, and when they're taken to that limit, they will show signs of cracking and falling apart to the point where the crucible can't take the pressure anymore because the alchemical pressure is too much in terms of spiritual growth, evolution, and change and shift and dynamics in the relationship. And it's not your fault, it's not their fault, it's not the relationship fault. It's just a consequence of human beings being human beings and choosing to be in chosen relationships and going through the evolutionary steps that happen. Okay, so please, I'm hoping you see this as a growth and healing experience where you can come out the other side and have a serious reality check. It's not like they're trying to hurt you. Okay, there's no harm intended here, Leo. It just looks like this is what happens in relationships, and where you get to the point where you can look at them and they can look at you, and you can take a hard, realistic look at the relationship, and you can see we've got some serious problems. Okay, we've got cracks are starting to show, and that is in the context of what would otherwise be probably a very strong relationship. And so it looks like a strong relationship that's taken to the limits and the cracks are showing. So, you know, where does that go from here? I'm not going to tell you. Maybe let's see what happens in February. All right. But this is the end of the Leo Aquarius eclipses. Finally, you know, after a year and a half or whatever it is. So you might be rejoicing at all this. You might be saying, oh, bring it on. I just can't wait for this to be over. I just want to deal with this and face the facts, face the reality. It's been a lot of pressure. Now I can see the cracks. Fine. Okay, well, what do we do now? I don't know. I'm not a fortune teller. Tarot Illumination is just giving you an interpretation here, okay? So I wish you the best, Leo. I'm not going to say anything more. I don't want to spoil it. You know the routine. I don't want to go back and repeat all the intro stuff again. Thank you so much for being here. All the best, Leo. Please make the best of this. I hope you get something out of this reading. And please become a member. That's the best thing you can do for Tarot Illumination. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. All the best. You can handle it. Bye.